Our day began in a secluded pine forest in Sardinia, where we wild camped for the night. Wild camping is tolerated in the region as long as you set up at sunset, pack up at sunrise, and, most importantly, don't get caught. This was the first morning I felt comfortable enough to take some time to work on writing my fantasy novel rather than hurry to leave. I know it looks like I'm not actually writing or editing, but that's because I'm doing an important task. Because before I can edit a chapter, what I've been doing, and I've kind of fallen into this routine, is I'll read the whole chapter first to see what's missing, so that way I can like pinpoint it and I'm not just like lost in the chapter just making a bunch of changes. So that's what we're doing. We're reading chapter 3 right now and seeing what it's missing. But little did I know that at that moment, someone had spotted us, or should I say, something. An adorable white cat watched our tent, likely having been attracted by the smells of our snacks. We had a lot planned for the day, so eventually I had to emerge from my tent and get ready. We took down the tent before pulling out food for breakfast. It is breakfast time, and for the first time, I feel like we have a surplus of food. Like, I feel like so many times we run on like almost no food, and in the mornings we like might have nothing. We have to go somewhere, but today that is not the case. We have so many snacks. We have these like chocolate-filled cookie things. We have ham-flavored chips, which are interesting. We have 2 types of protein cookies. We haven't even opened this one. This I think is like fig. And then we have these chocolate orange ones. We have 2 oranges. We have these like cookies that are really good. And then we've also got some bread, but we don't have any meat or cucumber left.
We got jam.
We have cheese, so we could do cheese and jam and bread. We have to figure out, oh, there is cucumber left. We just have to figure out where the jam is. Voila, we have breakfast. So this is strawberry jam on bread, and I only had enough brie left for 2 of the breads. So we each get 1 with cheese and 1 without. We need to feast this morning because we need our energy today. There's a lot going on. We're going to start by trying to find some old like archaeological relics that are very popular in Sardinia. We'll see whether we can even get to them because I think there might be some fences blocking 1 or 2 of them. There's 3 that I'm like looking at on Google Maps, and then after that we're gonna go to the beach, and it should be really beautiful. I've heard that the sand is like super white. It should be very, very nice to go for a swim. And then we have close to an 80-kilometer bike ride inland to where we're staying tonight in a rented room, so no wild camping for us. It should also potentially start raining around 6 p.m. And to add another thing to the list, I would love to have gnocchi tonight. I haven't had any gnocchi yet in Italy, and that is high on my list. So, we're gonna eat and then we're gonna get moving. Food consumed, we brushed our teeth. It's always important to aerosolize your spit after brushing to leave no trace. Josie, what would you rank today's attempt? That's a little generous. That way, right?
Yeah.
It's that easy. We're already back on the road and it looks like a beautiful day, at least for now. Time to go find some cool old stone things. This is our first stop. How cool. Do you want to go inside? Whoa. How far in does that go? I can't fit in that. These are domus digenas, prehistoric rock-cut tombs called fairy houses by the local people because of legends that they were the homes of small magical creatures. The tombs were used for burial during the Neolithic to early Bronze Age periods and are found widespread across the island. Hi, Jonah. That was very cool. I'm so excited for the next two buildings as well that we're gonna go visit. There's our next stop, that big mound right there. We'll have to see how close we can get, whether or not. I think there might be a road at that tree line. But yeah, very cool. There's a pretty extensive fence, so we are not going to be able to get close. But check it out. There's a second one that we're going to go to, the third and last of these stops. So hopefully we'll be able to get close to that one. This fence was open, so I'm gonna take it as a sign that we're allowed to walk through. You can see it right there. So you just have to walk across this. There may also be a fence over there, but we'll see how close we can get. We've been stopped by barbed wire. This is how close we got. This one's got a lot more like stuff growing on it. Yeah, should we try over there? I don't think we'll be able to get through because we can't get over to that gate. But yeah, a lot more foliage growing out of this one. A little bummed we couldn't get up and close and personal to one of these things, but I'm sure we'll see more in the next coming days. Super cool though. Yeah, we found another nurage just by happenstance going down this road. So I think we're gonna check it out. It's a lot more beaten down than the other ones, but let's see what we see. As a symbol of Sardinia today, there have been over 7,000 of these megalithic edifices found across the island. There's no consensus about what these structures were used for. It's been proposed to be residences, religious temples, military strongholds, or meeting halls. Okay, maybe Jonah has a better idea, I will admit. So it looks like there was some sort of circle thing here. And then there's another tower over here. Yeah, there's a hole. Yeah. Whoa. Huh.
I bet the rocks from the roof caved in and landed here.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that was really cool. I guess ask and you shall receive. Do not be fooled by these roads. We are taking the fastest route to the coast, which means dirt and rocky roads. But most of the roads we've been following across the island are nicely paved. So what do you think? Does this sand look white? Looks white to me. I feel like you can really see it in the water. This has got to be one of the best beaches we've been to on this trip. Like, this is incredible. The water's warm-ish. It's so beautiful and clear. The sand is so cool. Like, it's this white crystal stuff. It can almost make me forget the fact that we still have to bike another 80 kilometers a day. I wish I could just spend the whole day here, honestly. We might be here for a little bit longer too, because I want to eat some food. I want to sunbathe a bit. It's hard to just like not completely lose track of time in Sardinia. Like, I feel like we've really settled into like island time where we don't really have much pressure, because for most of the rest of the bike trip, you know, we've been having to get a little bit of a move on. When we decided to come to Sardinia, we had two itineraries really that we could have done. So we arrived in the north in Porto Torres, and we're going to take the ferry out from the south in Cagliari. So that means that we could have either done it in 4 days, the full island, which would have been like straight down the middle, biking nonstop all day, or the second option, which we ended up taking, was an entire week, which is more than enough time to bike around one of the coastlines. So it means that we've had like a bunch of time to just do whatever and sightsee. I mean, today's still going to be a big biking day. Yesterday was too, but we're definitely spending time going out to beaches, going out to cool rock formations, and it's just been feeling really special. And we're a little bit of a crunch time for where we need to end up on this bike trip. But because I know that like we can't do anything about, you know, leaving Sardinia any faster, I feel like it kind of gives us a little bit of a break before we keep going. Struggling to get out. So I think I'm gonna enjoy the water a little bit more, eat some more food, and just try to enjoy it before we gotta keep biking. We're already back on the road. Oh, I'm just imagining myself at the end of the day, sitting down, relaxing. It's gonna be so nice. I feel like because I'm already picturing like 5 hours of biking from now, today might be a little harder, but I can't wait. I mean, at this point, I'm like, it'd be so nice to hang out, try and get some writing done, but we'll see when it's actually time if I have the energy. I'm not gonna lie to you, this 80-kilometer bike ride nearly took me out. We enjoyed a quick stop for lunch at a bakery, but it was a bit of a grind getting through today's ride. At least it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining and the land was so green. The unthinkable has happened. My bike got its first flat of the entire trip, and I think that's the culprit right there. There it is. That's the culprit. Look how big that thing is. Evil, evil. At the very least, I think I'm getting better at these patches by now, which is kind of nice. You know, building my skill set, even though I would really rather not get more experience in this. I've honestly been really lucky with my tires and my tubes because I don't even know the last time I even had to replace a tube or patch a tube, if ever. Is that even possible? I don't even know. My tires are definitely on their last legs, and they have been since like the start of the trip, so they just need to hold out for a couple more weeks. While we managed to get my bike up and running again, we now worried about daylight, or soon to be its lack of it. It was a race against time as we didn't want to arrive in the dark. We flew across these long, flat stretches, avoiding the worst of the cracks in the road. Finally, we made it just as the sky began to darken. This place is awesome. Honestly, my only regret is not getting here sooner so we can enjoy all the amenities. And there's a downstairs common room that has like a living room, dining table, full kitchen, and she also left us more snacks downstairs. So this is gonna be a great night. But first I should probably shower. I can't even see chain grease. I didn't even realize it was on my face for the last like 30 kilometers. We've just gotten back from the grocery store and we are about to make dinner. We haven't made dinner in a very long time, like since the beginning of the trip. That's because we don't usually stay in places where they have like a full kitchen, but we want to take advantage here, especially because we ended up spending more on accommodation today than is kind of like in our budget. So essentially in Sardinia, the camping can be a little bit pricey because I think not a lot of Italians camp here. So because it's like a touristy thing, the prices get upped. So what we've been doing is we've been alternating between camping and then staying in like budget rooms or hostels because those will sometimes be so cheap that it's like the same cost as a campsite. When we were looking in this area, there was no place that seemed suitable to wild camp really that I would have been comfortable to do that. There was no place to actually camp, like there was no campgrounds, and then also there was nothing like super budget. So this is what we ended up getting. I mean, it's not that expensive in the grand scheme of things, but it just means that, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to cook dinner instead of go out for food. But we are going to be making gnocchi, so I'm going to get my gnocchi dinner after all. And also this place is like fantastic. I think this is the best place we've stayed at by far, hands down, across Europe. So I'm really excited to take full advantage tonight. I've even been thinking about whether or not I should write my book in the bath. Does that sound crazy? I don't know. I kind of love that idea. But we'll see once we finish up eating how I feel, what my energy level is at. The final product, gnocchi, mushroom, and bacon with Parmesan. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It looks okay, but I know it's going to taste amazing.
Honestly, it looks really good.
The food tasted so good. Anything would have tasted good after the long day we had had. I don't regret our slower start to the day, but we definitely couldn't have taken any longer. I didn't have the energy to make a bath, and I didn't know if there would be any hot water left after our long showers, so I sat up at the little table in our room. I finished reading the chapter and started to tackle the issues I identified. Yet another fun day for the books.